Hello and welcome back everyone to this weekly update on the financial markets. I will cover with you, like always, the broad market via the S&P 500 index, covering the weekly, daily and forward time frame where we analyze the price action. Then we follow through with US oil. Could get interesting starting next week Monday, with probably higher oil prices because of the geopolitical conflicts going on. Same is probably true for gold. It's a risk metal, and if risk increases, gold should profit from that. Other story with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the only asset that's trading during the weekend also here. So it can be an indicator for what we will see on the equity markets the upcoming days. But normally it's risk averse. So if risks increases, it's normally falling instead of rising. And then my complete watch list, the red marked ones are the ones that I'm currently trading. I'm in a trade, and I have also here a couple of stocks for you if you're interested in taking long trades. These have interesting setups. I will shortly cover, and then you can make research by yourself. I will show you all my trades. Like always, I take with my interactive brokers live account. So let's start directly in with the weekly time frame and the S&P 500 index. If you want to skip any part, down there is a timeline where you can directly jump to the favorite part of the video. Let's enjoy it. Here the S&P 500 index on the weekly time frame, you can see we are making still higher highs followed by higher lows, so an intact uptrend, so to say. But lately you can see it at the Fibonacci retracement level. We have seen the first Fibonacci extension level getting tested, and here we got in some trouble moving sideways for a longer time, slightly below the 10-week moving average, and MACD crossed a long time ago to the downside. So the question is, we will resolve to the upside or to the downside. If we drop one time frame lower to the daily time frame here, you can see the range in more detail. We tested a couple of times the high of the range and the low of the range. So I think the next daily close below or above the range will be the indicator for the direction the market will take the couple next days and weeks. If we see that to the downside, I think the next hold would be around the $6,500 level, where we have these two significant lows in combination with the 200 moving average would get some support. But the next significant Fibonacci retracement level would be the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level in combination with the prior all-time high from February 2025. And that would be a huge decline of roundabout from current level 10%. And if we resolve to the upside, the rally continues. The trend is your friend. So at the moment, still bullish for the S&P. I will change my mind if we see a significant break and close below this level here. On the 4-hour time frame, you can see it just in more details. All the major moving averages are coming together, so a significant move is in front of the door, and we have to be cautious. Look what price action will tell us the upcoming week and act accordingly. So at the moment, no actions to take, but to be prepared if we see a breakout to the upside, getting aggressive long, seeing a breakdown to the lower side, getting more defensive, or maybe even bet on falling prices here. Let's continue with US oil. US oil on the weekly time frame, you can see we have here in red solid a monthly downtrend line. That one got broken to the upside. Since then we are in this weekly corrective movement. You could argue to see here an A, B, C pattern. Point C at the moment the lowest point of this movement, marked here with a question mark. But we can see we have here this MACD divergence on the weekly time frame that speaks for rising prices. the 10-week and 50-week moving average is supporting the bullish price action so far. From above still comes 12 moving average, which will be resistance in combination with this monthly support and resistance zone. So that would be the next heavy level to get above or bounce to the downside again. But I'm pretty sure this can be a significant breakout if we get above this weekly downtrend line, pull back, make a retest, and then break higher to the upside. Let's draw that one in, maybe looking like this. I don't know, have no clue how far the price of oil can go up, because the administration of the USA is not happy with high oil prices. But yeah, I'm not analyzing the fundamentals here, only price. I think that's better for trading style, not investing, but therefore the fundamentals better. But for swing trading approach, price is the ultimate indicator, not fundamentals. So yeah, like you know from prior episodes, I'm on the daily here in a trade. I'm not trading that with my interactive brokers account. For trading that, probably I would either have to trade CFDs or futures. I do none of them. I'm trading only the indices via an ETF or the main stock itself. But for oil, they are not really good product on the ETF side, because you got rolling costs and so on. So on the longer time frame, the movement of an oil ETF is by far not the same like the real oil price. So I'm not trading that via my interactive brokers account. What you can do is use knockout certificates and yeah, make that over another broker. I'm not doing that with interactive brokers here. Yeah, you can see a nice price structure after the downtrend got broken to the upper side. We changed from lower highs and lower lows to higher highs and higher lows, and formed a nice uptrend here. Also here we had the sign with the MACD divergence on the daily time frame. Speaking for rising prices, I entered with the swing high after making a higher high and a higher low, and from there on I scaled out of the trade. Once I made my risk as profit, sold here then 50% fictive, so not real because I'm not in the trade, but I'm monitoring it like I would be in the trade. Stop loss already moved into profit zone below the last significant low after seeing a breakout above this box here. We have seen now the first break on the daily above this weekly downtrend line, and have here also our swing low. I think on Monday we will open up way higher, so you can also think about moving already the stop loss higher below this swing low. We will draw that probably in after the session or after seeing what price did on Monday. And yeah, I would say trade that one up until we see a change in price here, from higher highs to higher low, higher highs and higher lows, to lower highs and lower lows, and then get out of the trade. And yeah, this trade is already in nice profit. Let's continue with gold. Yeah, gold on the weekly time frame looking absolutely beautiful. As we have seen the breakout above the $2,000 level not that long ago, February 2024. So 2 years ago, and since then we over doubled in price. Not quite tripled, but that will not be so far away. We are now at $5,270 per ounce. Nice uptrending chart, higher highs, higher lows, no violation of the uptrend on the weekly. And yeah, we have closed on Friday the highest we ever did in gold. So pretty bullish also for gold. It's a risk metal, so it will open up probably on Monday also higher. On the daily time frame, you can see MACD cross to the upper side. We made a significant pullback after this extension of price to the upside. The euphoric cooled down. but we have been holding this secondary daily uptrend line, made a lower high, but again a higher low, and then continued also making higher highs again and changed again from a downtrend to an uptrend. We will see how far that one will go, but with the current situation, I would say gold is holding pretty well and has a bullish overall view. I'm not directly invested in gold, but like you can see later here, I'm invested in some mining companies that mine gold and silver, and they should profit also from that with higher margins if the thing they sell and mine is traded for a higher price. On the 4-hour time frame, nothing much more to say. We got above 4-hour resistance zone that's now turning support, and from there on we continue higher. Also here, gold, I'm not trading that at the moment physically here. You can do that by a knockout certificate or by an ETF, ETC, and yeah, would be possible, but I'm concentrating currently on the mining stocks. Now from my 4 main assets, Bitcoin. Bitcoin against the US dollar on the weekly time frame, you can see we have seen the all-time high from November 2021, huge decline around the 200-week moving average, and then higher highs, higher lows on the weekly until we have seen a double top at the all-time high of this or last year, so to say October 2025, with $126,000 per coin. And then we moved in a downtrend, broke this weekly uptrend to the downside and continued lower since then. We reached an important support zone, the prior all-time high, but I think we will decline lower all the way down, at least to the 200 moving average on the weekly or the 50 moving average on the monthly, round about $58,000 per coin. That would be also aligning with the Fibonacci retracement level, the most important one, the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, and this monthly uptrend line here. So I think around that level is a good zone to load up some Bitcoin for the long-term hold. Of course, we can dip below that, but for long-term holdings or for a cycle trade or over the next coming couple of years, a normal Bitcoin cycle lasts 4 years, 3 years up, 1 year down. So if you want to collect some to ride the next wave higher, that would be, in my view, my personal view, you can decide for yourself, a good spot to load up. I will do that definitely. For trades, we have to look in lower time frames, and it's not so far yet. We have to lose around about $10,000 before we reach that level. Yeah, for the historical evidence, you see here the 200 moving average. Here, yeah, it dipped lower. We first tested around $22,000, and we have been falling until $15,000. So that was a significant move afterwards. But on the long term, that wouldn't have been a bad buying opportunity here. If we zoom back here, May 2022, $5,000, testing the 200 weekly moving average. December 2018, testing at $3,000, the 200 moving average. And if we even go back from the highs in December 2013, we've been falling to the 200 week moving average on January 2015, around the $200 level. That would have been sweet, but yeah, I think that has a statistical evidence here historically, so I will not wait longer for lower prices. I think Bitcoin will get less and less volatile. So yes, the swing highs are not that extended anymore than they have been in the past. So logically, the swing lows will not be that extended like in the past. So not 70-80%, but in this case, what would it be? Yeah, maybe something like 50-60% would be then more in the cards or more likely. On the daily time frame, yeah, still lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. We have here sideways consolidating so far, and I think from a price perspective, it's holding pretty well. So that's the only asset that's trading on the weekend fully publicly, and we got this geopolitical conflicts here, and price is pretty much the same level like before this conflict on the weekend here. We have closed on Friday lower than we are right now, so maybe the reaction from this conflict will not be that huge like many expect on the Porta stock market. We will see, but I'm happy that Bitcoin is not reacting that heavily to this news. That gives us a chance that we will not see the crash from the S&P 500 index below this sideways consolidation, that we can resolve to the upside and not to the downside. That's my hope. No, not guaranteed, of course, but yeah. On the forward time frame, you can see the swings. Forgot here to mark another one, but yeah, not that significant right now. Sideways consolidating, not really seeing the breakdown yet, but I think that will come. Maybe we will sideways consolidate till we meet the 4-hour 200 moving average and this 4-hour blue dotted downtrend line. That would be fitting, and then decline from there on lower, or we see a significant move higher, but I think that's more unlikely. I don't see that resolve from this sideways consolidation breaking all the way up to this daily downtrend line and falling from there on lower, but nothing is impossible. No trade for me on Bitcoin, only long-term investments right now. That's have been my 4 main assets. Let's continue with my single stocks I'm currently trading. JBL, nice uptrending stock, intact daily uptrend. We had the sideways consolidation with a breakout out of the sideways consolidation. I went long here, till then I have seen only higher highs followed by higher lows. The 50 moving daily average is following price. I sold already once I made my risk as profit 50%, so the trade is risk-free, and I moved my stop loss already higher below this daily support zone in combination with the 50 moving average. So even if we see a huge decline, that's a possible support zone, strong support zone. So from there on we can recover. Then my stop loss will not get hit, and even if we get hit here, I'm going out of this trade with a profit. Let's continue with uranium ETF. The Global X Uranium ETF comes out of a long-lasting sideways consolidation, dipped below and then broke out to the upside. Since then we're seeing nicely uptrend structure here, supported by the 200 moving average so far. We have seen a pullback to this, or creating this daily uptrend line with that, change from lower lows to and lower highs to a higher high and higher low, and the break to the higher high was my entry point. I sold already 50% once I made risk as profit, taking with that the trade risk free, and I readjusted my stop loss level and moved it already higher below also here this daily support zone in combination with the daily uptrend line. So even if we fall below that, I'm going out of this trade with a profit, but letting it enough room to wiggle a little bit around and continue higher. MACD crossed to the upper side on the daily time frame, so and the 50 moving daily average is supporting price. So at the moment, pretty happy with that position. Next, Rolls-Royce Holdings. Rolls-Royce Holdings, long-term uptrending defense stock out of Europe. We have seen also here an ABC corrective move, a little bit of sideways consolidation, then a breakout out of this range, a pullback and a continuation, finally ending up in my first take profit target, selling also here 50% of the position, and move my stop loss higher below this daily support zone and the daily uptrend line to secure some profits, but letting it enough room to wiggle around and resolve finally even higher. And then I trail my stop loss higher and higher and increasing with that the position as long as the price is rising. But if we fail and we see from an uptrend structure change to a downtrend structure, then I want to get out of this trade with as much profit as possible. So far, so good. Let's continue with the German ETF. The German stock index has also a nice performance with a nice weekly uptrend. We have seen at the all-time high level a sideways consolidation supported by all major moving averages. Then a breakout. I ended long here. We have seen the first pullback ending at the 50 daily moving average and resolving higher. Not yet got above the last swing high, but MACD crossed already to the upside, and I'm bullish for the stock. We haven't seen yet the first take profit target of the DAX, but I moved already my stop loss higher below this swing low to secure to reduce the risk in this trade, but it has enough room to move around this prior daily support and resistance zone to resolve finally higher. And yeah, happy with that trade as well. Then Comfort Systems USA. Comfort Systems on the daily time frame, also nice uptrending stock here. We have seen at the all-time high level a sideways consolidation, still making higher highs and higher lows slightly at least. Then we've seen the breakout of this range and entered long, stop loss below the last swing low. Already sold, like you can see here, 50% of my position once I made my risk as profit, and since then we have seen a continuation of higher highs followed by higher lows. MACD looks a little bit like it would like to cross in the near future to the downside. So then after such a nice run, a huge pullback can be expected. I moved my stop loss already below this daily uptrend and slightly below this daily support zone. Yeah, but if I see a real trend change from uptrend to downtrend, then I will probably close the position in profit. But at the moment, this stock looks nice from the fundamental side and the technical side. Price action all is pretty bullish, so I want to ride that bullish stock higher and higher and continue holding it until something changes in the price structure, and then I get out with the profits I have made till then. Next, Fastener. Fastener company on the daily time frame, also nicely uptrending, higher highs followed by higher lows. We have seen a huger corrective move with lower lows and lower highs, and then we have seen near the weekly uptrend line a change in the price structure. We have seen high and higher low and higher high, and that continued after seeing the break below this or above this daily white dotted downtrend line. I entered long. Was so far a good idea. We've seen fast rising prices, then sideways consolidation to the downside, at the moment meeting all the major moving averages, and I think we will resolve also from here then higher to the upper side. My first take profit target is near or pretty exactly at the all-time high level of the stock. There I would have made my risk as profit and sell also 50% of the position, and then also move my stop loss higher afterwards. The next on the list, AutoZone. AutoZone Inc. on the daily time frame, also like you can see on the weekly here, nice uptrending stock. We have seen lately a huger corrective move all the way back down to this weekly orange uptrend line. There we have seen a MACD divergence, so MACD was making already a higher low while prices was making a lower low. That's the divergence. We've seen afterwards rising prices pushing above this daily white solid downtrend line, and after seeing a pullback and a push above the pullback and the 200 moving average, I entered long. Was exactly the point where price wanted to turn. That's sometimes the case. I think we were building out here some sort of sideways consolidation before then breaking out higher. The stop loss is still far away below this daily support zone. Yeah, it can absolutely happen that we'll pull down, test this weekly orange uptrend line again, and slightly take me out of my trade. That would be annoying, but can happen. Otherwise, if we resolve to the upside, my next take profit target would be slightly below the all-time high level. There would also sell 50% of the position. I see here I can put already in here my sell limit order, and yeah, there I would take the trade and risk-free, and probably also move my stop loss higher, maybe below the next real price structure. Then the first mining company, Pure Mining. Pure Mining was breaking out of the weekly zone, pulled back sharply and started rising again, and was building out this cup and handle formation. And we have seen here the low, high, and a higher low, so change in price structure. In combination with that, the MACD wanted to cross to the upper side with high green volume on the daily, and I ended after seeing prices getting above this daily resistance zone and this local high here, and that long stop loss below the complete movement here, and the sell limit order to take partial wins, 50% of the position from the table once we make a new all-time high. And from there on, I would probably also move my stop loss higher, secure some profits, and ride the rest higher. Like I said, I think gold will open strong next week, so probably the miners will follow, maybe a little bit later, but they will follow. You can see last Friday and Thursday the price of this stock already increased significantly, so I'm happy with that trade. This mining company not only mines and sells gold, but also to 50%, I think, silver. Silver is also going well, and yeah, happy with that trade. Let's continue with a more a completely different stock, Planet Labs. Yeah, Planet Labs is a more riskier trade, riskier stock, more volatile, and yeah, it's a risk-on asset, definitely. They are not earning really money so far, but there's a lot of future music, we would say in Germany. I don't know if that saying exists in the English world, but yeah. So a lot of price gains are in the minds of the people, of the investors here, but they are not at the moment real on paper. And yeah, I'm bullish for the stock because we have seen also here a trend change in price behavior supported by the 50 moving average and the daily cross at the MACD indicator. And we are definitely in an uptrend since a longer time right now. And yeah, we have also seen the pullback all the way back down to the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level, which was previously resistance and now support. And we have seen a push above this daily downtrend line. So that was aligning for me, and I entered long after seeing a push above this prior swing high here. So far we have moved more or less sideways, and yeah, I'm interested how the stock will open on Monday, because it's a risk-on asset, and with geopolitical conflicts, normally investors don't want that much uncertainty in their portfolio if geopolitical conflicts are ongoing. So maybe we will see a sell-off. Hopefully my stop loss will hold, but we will see. I can't predict geopolitical conflicts. So yeah, but if we see rising prices, I would take 50% of the position from the table near the all-time high, take the trade risk-free, and scale my stop loss higher with rising prices. Then on the list, Sprott Inc., a financial stock. Sprott Inc. has also a nice uptrend here. We've seen a huge pullback. And yeah, what followed was a MACD cross with high volume, breaking to a new all-time high. I was a little bit late, but hopefully not too late. Entered long here, stop loss below here, the last swing low, let's say, no? Close. I don't want it to go lower because my risk reward is shrinking, or my first take profit target would be higher. And yeah, it's still pretty high, but I hope with the positive earnings report, etc., it will continue higher. The trend is your friend, and there I would sell 50% of the position once I made my risk as profit. Then nothing can happen anymore to the position, and I would probably put my stop loss a little bit higher, maybe below this daily support zone. Then an energy stock, but not oil, so we are not profiting from rising oil prices with that one, but it's an electricity utility company. OGE Energy Corp, energy producer, utility, so yeah, electrical grid. We have seen the all-time high from February 2020 got taken out. With that, this weekly resistance zone now turning support, and also on the daily time frame we have seen the sideways consolidation, a small fake out below, then a push higher, breaking out to the upside. Seen also a daily small corrective move, and I ended above that one, stop loss in the mid of the range, so giving that stock enough room to breathe, and I would take 50% from the table, and with that my risk once we reach $50.46 per stock, and then I would probably also start to trail my stop loss higher to secure some profits. The stock is also yielding some dividend, 3.5% through the holding time of this trade, with nearly 39 stocks in this trade. That's also not that insignificant, depending on how long I will hold the stock to get the X date for the dividend. Then the next stock I have on my list is TeraWulf, and that one is a little bit more speculative. Yeah, TeraWulf, like you can see, has been in the past pretty volatile and also higher than it is right now. But yeah, I would say since February 2023, we can see an uptrend, a price structure. Lately, it went pretty well into a sideways consolidation on a higher level, at least since that time frame. We've seen a break above this range, pullback, picture perfect to be honest, and then a nice green engulfing candle pushing above that retest, and also with some significant volume here. So entered long. Afterwards, price turned directly. After the numbers, they have been negative, but the outlook was positive. So it was okay from the downside here. Still enough room to my stop loss, but like with Planet Labs, it's a risk-on asset, and if investors choose to get more defensive, they will probably sell stocks like TeraWulf, and so I'm not so sure what will happen on Monday with that stock. But from a pure technical perspective, that's an absolutely nice trade, with the stop loss below this pullback here, supported by the 50 moving average. That should resolve higher, and if it does, then I will take 50% from the table once I make my risk as profit, and then trail my stop loss. Then we have also on the list FTAI Aviation. Sorry for the bad pronunciation here. Yeah, we have FTAI dealing with jet engines, and like that the stock looks to me also. We have a nice uptrend, then a long-lasting carbon handle formation that got resolved pretty nicely to the upside. And yeah, we have seen here now the first real significant pullback since then, but MACD already crossed to the upper side. We have seen also a push higher that was ongoing with a nice green volume candle on that day. So I entered long. What followed afterwards was a pretty large and even larger red volume candle. You don't know that in advance. And yeah, I placed my stop loss below the last swing low. And the plan here is also to sell 50% once I make my risk as profit. I thought that looks like some sort also cup and handle formation, but in small. And yeah, I think the trade was technically still positive. I don't know what will happen next coming days and weeks, but yeah, I let that setup run. Either I get stopped out or take partial wins and ride the rest higher, like with the other positions also. And then last but not least, but not last and not least, because I will go through with you through potential stocks that are tradable the upcoming days and weeks as well. But my portfolio is so far full, so I can't take one of these until I reduce risk somewhere in my portfolio. And yeah, let's continue. But first with IM Gold Corporation, a pure gold mining company. Like you can see, IAC or IM Gold Corporation was profiting from rising gold prices pretty well. Nice uptrend here. We've seen here at the all-time high a pullback, some resistance, another pullback, but a higher low, and then a push higher, so a breakout, so to say. You could argue to see here also in smaller cup and handle formation. And yeah, I was entering at the breakout, stop loss below the last swing low or below the handle, and aiming for a risk reward ratio of 1:1 for partial wins, taking the risk from the table and ride the rest also higher. I think, like I already said with pure mining, if gold and metals are profiting, then these stocks should follow also. The last earnings report was positive, and yeah, till the next is some time left, so I'm bullish for this stock overall. That's all for my trades I'm currently in. What now follows is this couple of stocks I will want to discuss in a faster way, but give you an idea what can be tradable here. Yeah, the first company is Race, or has a tag Race, and it's no other company than Ferrari itself. Nice uptrend long term, but lately we've seen a huge correction all the way down to the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, and we have seen on daily time frame short term a downtrend that got broken to the upside with significant volume after good numbers. We have a MACD divergence going on for a longer time right now, and I'm the opinion that we have here a reversed head and shoulders formation, and if we break the neckline, which is basically this daily support and resistance zone to the upside, that could be a nice long trade with a good risk reward ratio still below this major daily downtrend line, with the first profit target stop loss below the last swing low. So I marked here that with a ring a bell that I get notified if we pass that level to the upside. But like I said, I'm full already with my trades, no risk more to put in another trade, another stock until some of these are ending or getting reduced. But for you, maybe you have some room left and can think about that setup here. Next we have Nebius Group, also nice uptrend here, significant support level right now. 200 moving average is nearing, all major moving averages are nearing each other, also most of the time positive. Here after earnings we have seen also positive volume, and every single sell volume afterwards was lower. So I think after seeing here this downtrend broken to the upside, we are seeing now the first pullback, maybe in form on the lower time frame ABC pattern. And as long as we are not fall significant below this support zone or prior low here, I think the chance side will turn sooner or later and push above this daily resistance zone here. and then the sky is again free to see prices rising to the all-time high level or even above. So I marked here also that level for a potential trading opportunity. Then Bloom Energy Corporation, in a world where energy gets more important with AI rising, etc. This stock can also profit from that. The valuation is pretty high, I think. Well, no valuation. That's the highest one. If you don't have a PE, that's most of the time it's a bad sign. But I'm looking here on not long-term investing, but on price action, and that's positive. With here a sideways consolidation right now going on. So a Davos box, so to say, above the last all-time high. And if that resolves to the upside, that would be pretty bullish. Stop loss conservative would below the box or below the last swing low, like I marked here at the moment. And I'm also getting notified once price breaks above that level, and that would be also a nice trade. Iron, in Spanish stock, I think. Yeah, is near a pretty significant monthly key level. So that was resistance a couple of times in the past. We are testing that level right now again, but we have here a pretty interesting daily sideways consolidation right below that level, where price pressure is building up. All major moving averages are aligning to support this price action. We have seen already the breakout above this daily resistance zone, the first pullback, and then another green candle last Friday. And I think if we see a close above this prior swing high near the all-time high level, that we will probably exceed, after a couple of times testing and failing, the chances high that we will see the final breakout. Stop loss would be below the last swing low, like you can see here, with the take profit target for the first partial wins at a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, like I like to do that. Take then the trade risk free. Then a stock you all for sure know, Palantir Technologies, got sold off together with software companies in general, but I think IT defense will get more and more important, or at least not less. Because of that, the uptrend is long-term still intact. Weekly uptrend here. We are testing at the moment an important weekly support zone. Also MACD crossed here. The volume starts to get green again. Yeah, I would say if we see a push above the prior low here, that could be a short-term trade with a tight risk-reward ratio. Stop loss directly below the lows here and below this weekly uptrend. Entry, like I said, if we see a swing high above this swing high here, and then directly taking profits at $158 before we even reach the 200 moving average. That's the moment resistance for price. Take the trade with that risk free, and even if we see then the break down and really change from a long-term uptrend to a long-term downtrend, then we don't lose anything except the fees on the trade. And if that should be the bottom and we will continue, then you pretty fast make a lot of profits on the way up because the setup was that tight. Then another also explosive, at the moment not explosive, but interesting volatile stock is Cycle Internet Group. Yeah, that's the stock that's putting out the stablecoin USDT. No, that was Tether USDC. And yeah, that's an important stablecoin, of course. And yeah, we have a MACD divergence on the daily time frame here, pretty significant. We have a downtrend broken to the upside. We have pretty high volume after very, very positive earnings. And yeah, here we have the last swing high in combination with this daily resistance zone. So far we stopped right here and are pulling up, coming back a little bit. But if we break above that level, I think that's also a nice trade. Stop loss I placed at the moment here below this last major swing low. And I would also take here quickly profits because it's so volatile, and let the rest run hopefully higher. That's my weekly report on the financial market. I hope you got something out of it. Maybe a swing trade that's also interesting for you, a setup or whatever the principle. If that's the case, let a thumbs up and drop a comment in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel if not happened yet. Till next time, bye bye.